Hello and welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. One of my very favorite people on the planet of Earth is here. I first met him in 2013 when he was a guest on The Independence, which was a show I co-hosted on Fox Business. We had him on because he is still, to this day, the only person I know who has been to North Korea more than once. And he actually, just once, that's solamente uno.
Didn't Moynihan go?
Moynihan went. He did?
I think so.
He's dead to me.
He's dead to me too. You and your TDS.
No, I don't know if he went. You're the only person that I've talked to at length about. Michael Malice is here.
Hi, everybody.
He is the host of the You're Welcome podcast. And we had you on The Independence because you had been to North Korea at a time when people were very worried that North Korea was going to turn into an explosive nuclear state and attack us and Japan and South Korea.
Yeah.
Yes. And you were the only person who had like intel and insight.
Yeah.
And you were such a charming, hysterical person. I was like, we have to have him on all the time.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, this is me versus Matt Walsh. So, of course, I'm going to go off as charming and hilarious.
Not Matt Walsh, Matt Welch.
Yeah, I stand by my statement. I'm far more charismatic than Matt Walsh also.
Well, yeah. I mean, a pastrami sandwich, as you said. Also.
Yes.
So now here we are.
Here we are, face to face.
Is North Korea still part of the conversation? Like, no one seems really scared of North Korea now.
Yeah, they aren't scared. They shouldn't be scared. They should be worried about the people.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the big. I was on Fox and Friends, and there were this is years ago during the first Trump administration, and there were a bunch of American hostages that got released, and they were kissing the ground when they got here, and the host, I forget who it was, said, you know, what's your concern about the future? I'm like, the continued enslavement of North Korean people, and he's like, yeah, okay. So I was very glad during the first administration when Trump made it a big priority, and he's like, okay, let's try something different. Instead of saber rattling, let's shake hands, let's try that. And it went to nowhere. And I was very disheartened, as I'm sure you were and a lot of people watching this were, how the media with their TDS were like rooting for him to fail.
Why? I didn't understand that, because it's like, he's not capitulating. And they're like, that's it. He loves dictators. Like, he's owned by dictators. He is a puppet of Russia and North Korea. And it's like, no, maybe we need to try a different tack here.
Right.
Like, maybe we have not had the right approach since, you know, when Obama left office, he told Trump that North Korea was the biggest threat. That North Korea was an existential threat to the United States.
Which is demonstrably false, and it's insane. There's videos on YouTube where North Korean ex-military are breaking down how it would be impossible. When they left and they defected to South Korea, they're like, okay, like, let's do the math. Like, to invade the U.S., even if you're China, which has 1 billion people, nukes, it's like you have all different kinds of terrain, surrounded by oceans, surrounded by like friendly nations on both sides. The most armed populace on Earth.
That
alone.
To me seems like the biggest deterrent for an invasion.
So it's just crazy, this idea that and North Korea couldn't even reach us before. So it's maybe Alaska, but I mean, not disrespect Alaska, but it's not an existential threat to the United States. So it's just sad that nothing came of it, and everyone kind of forgot about it, because every single person I met when I was there is still there. They're still trapped there. Their kids are there. They're growing up in this prison, and they know it's a prison. And it's you know, they recently used to have a border. There's a border between China and North Korea. People would cross the river and defect into China and hope they wouldn't get caught and sent back. But now they put electrified fencing there, so the people don't have electricity for their homes, but you have it to keep them enslaved,
yes.
So it's really unfortunate.
I remember you brought up a really important point, which was, you know, people go over to North Korea and they think they're being clever, and they leave Bibles in hotel rooms. And, you know, it's not, have you heard the good news? It's not like someone's going to read that and be like, holy shit, who's this Jesus I'm finally reading about? Because the person who finds it will most likely be sent to a concentration camp.
And their family.
Ugh.
Yeah, so if you have contraband, right, in North Korea, and anything that's against the kind of state, this is as dangerous as it gets. Like, it's just like kind of in America, it's like, if you're going to harm a civilian, you know, that's one thing. But if you're harming the government, they're really, like the IRS, you know, who would you rather cross? You know, a rich person on the street or an IRS official? It's pretty kind of obvious. So they take it very seriously there. And I think it was it Kenneth Bay? I don't remember the guy's name. He left a Bible there.
Yes.
and he was taken hostage, and it's like that woman who found it. She must have been living in terror because it's like, what do I do now? Because she's being watched. If she leaves it, the other maid is going to find it. It's
you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, and nothing good comes of it.
Nothing good comes of it, right?
Yeah,
so
but people that don't have that kind of consideration, it's like people live in these selfish kind of bubbles, and they're like, "Whoa."
It was what's her name?
Lisa Ling's sister.
Right. Thank you. Lisa Ling's sister was there interviewing people on camera, and she was asked them to criticize the leader. And they pretended they didn't understand her, and her commentary is like, "Oh, look at them pretending not to understand." Like, what do you want them to say?
Yeah.
So if they say he's perfect, it looks like they're making North Korea a joke, so they're in trouble. And if you say, you criticize him, well, now you're in real trouble. They have no good answers. So it's putting. I think Americans are so. I'm going to use this word advisedly privileged, that they really think free speech is like a given everywhere on earth. Yeah. It's not. It's here. Yeah. This is the list. Yeah. You don't have it in Canada. You don't have it in the UK.
Yeah.
You're not having North Korea. You can't just sit there. Reagan used to joke. I wrote about this in my book, The White Pill. Reagan used to joke with Gorbachev that there was an American and Russian, and they were having a big argument, and the American said, "America's great. I can go to the White House and bang the president's desk and say, I think President Reagan's doing a terrible job." And the Russian says, "I can do that." And the American goes, "I can?" He goes, "Yes. I go to the Kremlin, bang on Gorbachev's desk and say, I think Reagan's doing a terrible job." Right, so that was and Gorbachev laughed, but this is it. We're the list. So I really hate how insular a lot of Americans are, and I think people should be more grateful. Your family's Romanian. I was born in the Soviet Union. Mm-hmm. People should be more grateful for the freedoms that they have. Not that they have it, but realize no one else has this.
Yeah, and we're not far removed from, torture and, serfdom.
Yes.
And, no ownership of private property, no civil rights, no civil liberties.
What percent of Democrats said that if you don't get a vaccine, your kids should be taken from you? Was it 40%?
God.
60 was some crazy number.
Jimmy Kimmel joking that people who didn't get the vaccine can go home and die.
Right. So
that mentality, it's not that far away. Who is your favorite ex-president?
Living or ever?
Doesn't matter. Both, living and ever. If it's not the same person.
Living is a list, right? Well, it's got to be Biden. I donated money to him to get the nomination. The best return. I want him to be the nominee. Talk about paying off in dividends. Yes. So Biden's clearly my favorite living ex-president. How can you not love him? He's about to announce that he's going to run for president against Trump in 2012. Yeah, he's clearly the one.
So is he a gift in the way that Ruth Bader Ginsburg was?
Right. If they had put up like Klobuchar, right, I don't know that Trump would have beaten her in 2024 because Kamala won by 2 points, right? So Klobuchar is I think it's easy to say is 1% better than Kamala or 2, and it would be a lot tougher. He's delivering gifts in his pants all the time. I think that's fair to say. My favorite ex-president who's dead, is it Coolidge? It might be Coolidge.
Oh, I love Silent Cow. I love him.
Yeah.
I love Ulysses S. Grant, though.
What about, because he's a drunk?
He's not a drunk. That's the thing. So Ron Chernow wrote a book about Ulysses S. Grant. That's 800 pages. So I read it.
It's called The Big Book.
It's just Grant. But I read it. I've reread that book piecemeal probably 6 times. I became obsessed with Ulysses S. Grant after reading that book. And the case that he makes was he really wasn't a drunkard. The few times that he actually drank and was publicly inebriated, he didn't drink that much. He just couldn't really handle alcohol. But for some reason...
Do you hear what you said?
Yes, but he didn't drink a lot. But when he did, he looked hammered.
Okay.
And so the idea was that in order to get that hammered for a normal person, he was drinking so much, he must be drinking all the time, therefore he couldn't do his job because he was a drunkard. When really, he spent most of his adult life really, temperate. He did not... Especially when he was with his wife. She didn't like him drinking, Julia, with her little googly eyes. She was like, Ulysses, where are you? One of you come over here. You didn't think you were going to get Julia Grant humor today, did you, Malice?
You don't know. Yes, I did. In fact, here it is. I wrote it down my phone. I think he was a bad president.
Well, he wasn't a great president, especially later in his presidency. His post-presidency was very good, like arguably better. Like Obama, what has Obama done in his post-presidency? Like at least Jimmy Carter was a horrible president, but then he tried to do good things post-presidency.
I think Obama has done a lot post-presidency that's not good, but he's certainly had his finger in a lot of pies, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Not literally or figuratively, you know what I mean?
You never know.
No, with him, we know. He's not putting his finger in a pie. We know that for a fact. Okay? That's not even a question. We have the letters. I think, I said this on Will Kane's show the other day, I think 2024 was a huge repudiation of his style of politics.
Yes.
Like, I think a lot of conservatives think the Democratic Party is a monolith. The Hillary wing and the Obama wing are not the same wing.
But isn't that what's most wonderful about it? Like, they all hate each other.
Right.
The Bidens, like, the Democrat dynasties despise each other. The Obamas hate the Clintons.
Right.
They all hate the Bidens.
Right.
And then, you have the new Kamala wing, and
there's no wing. It's her.
She is so
She's just that turkey.
Special.
There's no wing.
Yeah.
No, she has no support anywhere. She couldn't even make Iowa when she ran for president in 2020.
Yeah.
So she's no wing at all. If she had a wing, she'd be running for governor of California. I think she'd be DOA.
Okay, what do you think about that? Because she said, and if you really are a public servant, and if you love where you're from, and you want to make it the best place
She grew up in
imaginable-
Canada.
I know, but she's Californian, but she said she didn't want to run because the system is broken. So if the system is broken,
the system's broken, and that you were the consequence of that broken system.
Yes, exactly. I mean,
was
that's
broken
a
for you.
repudiation
Yeah.
of the California system as a whole. That's not like, oh my God, she's such an amazing person.
You know what this is like? It's like when Karen Jean-Pierre said she left the Democratic Party to hack her book, and it's like, name one issue that you disagree with the Democratic Party on. Just one.
Yeah.
And there's none.
Yeah.
So are you loving this Katie Porter stuff as much as I am?
I love her so much.
It's my porn.
Like, I am dying for the next few videos to drop. Like, is she rich? Is she paying people off right now? Like, angry? She knows who the angry staffers are because she's probably the most vindictive of anyone in her orbit.
I disagree.
Really?
When you're that angry all the time, you think it's normal. And you don't realize which bridge you're burning because you think you don't even recognize anybody else because they're all beneath you.
Wow.
Don't you? You've been around people
But
like
that's
this.
awful.
I know. She's a horrible. What about the stuff with her ex-boyfriend? Remember?
The husband, where she put the mashed potatoes on his head and burned his scalp.
Yes, and
that's awful. I mean, she's not only an unwell, unhinged person, she's also a domestic abuser.
Right. So,
like, she's a girthy woman. If he's a little guy, like,
well, he's a
heaven
big
help
guy.
him.
So I'm going with either Haiti Porter or Katie Porker. I don't know which one I like more at the moment. But the point
Why
is,
not Haiti Porker?
Yeah, well, that might be a little confuse people. The thing with her is,
I love that you considered that one.
I've thought of. I had it written down. The thing that you and I know, and I think people in the audience might not, is that a lot of these people, when we say they're crazy, we don't mean like you're crazy or I'm crazy. It's like, oh, we have wacky
Nutty.
story,
Woo,
right?
eccentric.
It's like, no, this person cannot be allowed to walk the streets. They're dangerously, severely mentally ill.
Yeah,
Klobuchar's another one like that.
Yeah, but exactly. Somehow she sort of rehabbed her image from the comb as fork episode.
But that's the least of it.
Yeah. But the thing about Katie Porter is they hated her so much, they would put her in these situations so there would be video evidence.
Well, no. I don't.
So there are more videos.
Oh, there are.
Yes,
there are.
That's what I'm
but
waiting
here's
for.
that thing with that. Let's break down that Zoom call. So she's with Jennifer Granholm, I believe, on that call.
Yep.
It's not live. So if it's live, I could wrap my head around and also I could wrap my head around the fourth time you escalate to yelling and the F word. The first time's like, hey, you're in my shop, be careful. But the fact that she goes straight to that
That's
rage.
what she started at, yeah.
Right, and then she switches back to, hey, this will save money on your electric car.
Yeah.
It's like this person is, and the fact that Jennifer Granholm wasn't like.
Doesn't even flinch.
Are you okay?
Well, it makes you wonder, like, what kind of family dynamic did she have growing up?
So I think there's a lot more of this stuff behind the scenes than people realize. I read the book about The View,
Okay.
An oral history of The View, and everyone talked. And I remember, I forgot the guy's name. He's executive producer, co-founder. There's a big shot in The View, and he goes, "What people don't understand is Rosie O'Donnell is someone who's severely mentally ill, who knows how to pass as a normal person." And if you look at her backstory with her awful upbringing, which I
and
would,
her mom dying at a young age,
all stuff. And I forget who it was. Someone pointed out she doesn't even know how to smile. If you look at any photo of Rosie O'Donnell, she's grimacing.
Yeah, she's like.
Yeah, she's not
she does this weird thing where she has to tell herself, like, smile, and then she goes.
Yeah, she's not a well person.
No.
So I think people don't realize how many of these people behind the scenes are like crazy.
Did I tell you I saw Rosie a few years ago at Vaughn's?
Rosie O'Donnell?
Yeah. And she was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about becoming a libertarian. Yeah, I saw you on Stossel. I love Stossel. I'm thinking about getting a gun." And I'm like, "Please don't. I don't trust you with a firearm."
Oh my God.
Yeah. She's like, "Yeah, gonna do it. Big fan."
Are you sure it was Rosie O'Donnell, not Burgess Meredith? Because it sounds like Burgess Meredith.
I wish I was friends with Burgess Meredith. God rest his soul.
Yes.
God, that would have been amazing.
And in Rosie's defense, if my bully became president, I think I'd lose my mind too. It's not going to break with reality. But yeah, so but you know what's interesting? Counterpoint to that. Let's play devil's advocate.
Sure.
I watched. I'm sure you did also. What's that Kevin Spacey show where he's the Machiavellian politician?
House of Cards.
House of Cards. And at one
Did
point,
not watch it.
Okay, spoiler. I'm going to spoil it. At one point, this evil, like he kills people early on.
Oh.
At one point, he becomes president, right? And then as president, this sociopath basically governs like a moderate Democrat.
Oh, so it's based on the Clintons.
Right, but it also shows that even if you're pure evil, if you're in the White House, the system itself kind of mitigates that.
Yes.
Unless you're just going to launch wars preemptively, which presidents do anyway, you're not really in a position to do anything about it.
Yes.
So it's really like, that's the worst thing, that he's a moderate Democrat? Okay.
Are you a Trump fan?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Did you vote for him?
I don't believe in voting, no. No.
Good for you.
Yes, thank you.
But when you see him, are you entertained because you love chaos, or you agree with his idea and his philosophies and the Trump doctrine, however that is defined?
I agree, and I'm positive you agree. This is the first time in our lifetime that, can I curse?
Yes.
That Democrats have had consequences for their bullshit. So everyone listening to this remembers Kavanaugh, and all these Democrat senators had no shame in putting him up as a drunken gang rapist, this guy who was a choir boy. And they had no consequences for this. And you know what? If I did that, why wouldn't I do it again, right? Why wouldn't I try to arrest my political opponents? Why wouldn't I do all these things,
Whatever
right?
works.
Whatever
Obviously,
works.
in politics, you're going to replicate it because the system is so big and so powerful that you will do whatever it takes to gain control of it.
Yeah, so the fact that I made this joke that whenever that, like in the cartoons, when a coconut hits your head, you become a different person. That when they got shot, that must have been some on switch, because this is a different person than the first term. He understands the game. He understands these people aren't messing around. I think when he came into the White House the first time, he's a New Yorker. He's a ball buster. He thought, all right, I call Pelosi an old witch. She makes fun of my hair. That's fine. We cut the deal behind closed doors. And then we saw it didn't happen. I think that was a little confusing for him.
Yeah.
And now he's like, oh, these people playing for keeps. And they're going to try to take Trump Tower away from me. They're going to arrest all my friends. They're going to go through Melania's underwear drawer. It's like there's no line that they won't cross. They'll make fun of Barron. I got shot and I got blamed for it.
Yes.
So it's like, screw these people forever. And I'm going to take whatever steps I can to make sure they're disempowered from being able to do it again. And for that, I applaud him enormously. Consequences. That's the conservative way, is consequences, and they never did it.
But I do agree with you that he changed. And I think, feeling his own mortality gave him an appreciation for life.
Yes.
But also his reaction in that moment changed so many people's lives.
Oh, yes. Zuckerberg among them.
Yeah, and Elon Musk. Because Elon before that was like, I'm not getting in the race. I'm not giving anyone money.
Speaking of appreciation for life, you're going to appreciate this as a pro-life person. I don't know if you know this. Trump was asked, because he was pro-choice all his life, he's a New Yorker, and then he became pro-life. And he was asked why. He goes, oh, when Barron was born, like it kind of chased him. It's like, you had 4 other kids.
Yeah, not Tiffany.
Not Tiffany.
Not Eric.
Not Don
Not
Jr.
Ivanka.
Not the kid who's named after you. He's like, kill him. Who cares? We'll make another one. It's like, oh, it's wrong to kill your kid. 5th time's the charm. If it's only 5, assuming that we know of. It's just a mate with a straight face. Eric's at home being like, oh, come on, man. Marla's not that bad. It was amazing.
I love Marla.
I know, but why don't you love your kid from her, Eric?
Was Eric Marla? Wasn't Tiffany Marla?
I thought Eric was Marla. Eric and I know Tiffany is.
Yeah.
I thought Eric was also.
Oh, I thought
I could be wrong.
he was
Double
Ivana.
check it. Double check it. Obviously, Don Jr. and Ivanka are from Ivana.
Yes.
I could be wrong.
Yes.
Because Eric has that goofy look like Tiffany does.
He's a national gem. He's an absolute
Yeah, what kind of
treasure
gem
of a
is
young
he?
man.
What kind of gem is he? He's not a diamond. We can know that. We know that. Maybe some kind of, I don't know, topaz.
Amethyst? Yeah,
He's not
topaz,
amethyst.
yeah.
Geode. I think we're thinking geode level here.
He's a rose quartz.
Yes.
And that's something.
That is something.
Don't go anywhere. More Kennedy Saves the World right after this.
Aren't you a fan of his approach?
Yes, because I don't agree with everything he does. Like, a lot of the populism and government taking control of certain entities and sectors, like, I don't necessarily agree with that. But I'm not the kind of person who's like, oh, I'm just going to hate everything because I disagree with this one thing.
I also think he appreciates the power of the presidency. He thinks this is a blessing and a gift, and he's correct. And the fact that he really is like, I'm going to use the power I have to try to bring peace around the world. This is like the Hollywood.
Why isn't he given more credit for that? I mean, he really.
You know why?
He really, truly is trying to end these crises.
When Hillary Clinton wrote a book, whatever, last couple of years about like powerful women, they asked her why Thatcher wasn't in this book. The longest serving British prime minister of the 20th century. She saved Britain from some perspectives. And she goes, oh, because she didn't do like enough or anything for women. It's like, what are you talking about? You're like shameless.
Yeah, what was the mortality rate before she was prime minister?
A million things. They didn't have electricity. So the fact that people are more concerned about, their status than about... But I don't know if you saw this. Hillary gave him kudos for the Middle East stuff.
Yes, she did.
So
she had to.
I don't know if she did. No, she didn't.
Anyone who's had
Blinken
proximity... Really?
Blinken said, why are you thanking Biden? And then he goes, what took them so long for this peace deal?
Yes, because that is his ego. That's his ego because he's never going to be on the short list of great secretaries of state. Of course. Absolutely not. And that's his ego because he is trying to defend the indefensible. Because if you give Trump the credit, in his mind, it is a zero-sum enterprise where only one person gets the credit. That means everyone else is denied it. But I didn't see them bringing Netanyahu and Hamas to the table.
I went back recently because Trump was debating then Senator Rubio in February 2016. And Rubio is saying, like, you can't cut a deal in the Middle East. And Trump says, he's like, you can't negotiate with terrorists. He goes, Trump's like, that's not how you get peace. He's like, I'll sit down with people. I'll work something out. And he goes, I admit it. This would be the toughest deal of all, that deal. And and for even Trump to be like, all right, like, I'm not promising because like this is ridiculous.
But that's why.
But hold on, for him to deliver is just like close to a miracle, and people should have tears in their eyes that this happened. None of us saw this coming.
Yes.
The fact that these hostages got released like in reasonable terms of any kind, like take a breather.
Yeah.
Give him his kudos for today. You can argue tomorrow.
For a second, yes. I'm sure something else will fall apart.
Yes.
I'm sure the price of eggs will go back up. But what I was going to say is that's why the gap term was so important for him. That's why he had to have 4 years to think about what he really wanted to do if he got 4 more years. So it's like, he was close with the Abraham Accords. And I think the Abraham Accords were actually a very, very critical foundation for this because he realized that he had to have capitalism, but he also had to have actors from Arab states to sign on and participate in everything because this zero-sum, all or nothing, us or them mentality wasn't going to work to bring about that kind of peace.
If we sat down in 2024 before Election Day and said Trump is going to have even a framework that Hamas and Iran and Saudi Arabia and Egypt and the U.S. and Israel are all going to sign on, it would be like, okay, what are you smoking?
Yeah, you're high.
You're high.
On psilocybin.
You're obsessed with Trump. You think he's the second coming. And he did it.
Yeah.
So, like, is this not the biggest foreign policy step forward in that area in 50 years?
What would the press have done if Obama had achieved this?
Right.
They would be covered in theoretical ejaculate.
The literal.
Yeah, well, true.
Especially from the wife. Yeah, that's such a good point.
Yes. If Biden would never have been able to do this.
Yes, he would have.
Let's say,
Biden's people.
Okay, yeah, let's say the committee
Yeah.
was able to engineer this and, was able to abstract the various forces that had to be brought together with the promise of some kind.
You know what, Kennedy? They were able. Trump is not magic. He has the same resources Biden did. So the fact that they didn't think in those terms and they're stuck in their rote ways is one of the big assets for his presidency, that he doesn't come in from, 50 years in Washington? When Biden came in the 70s, no?
Yes.
So, like, he's coming from an outsider's perspective, and that's very useful because when you're doing real estate in New York, you're dealing with wealthy, powerful people from all over the world. And some of them are assholes.
Yes.
And you're like, you know what? I got to know how to talk to that Arab guy and talk to that rich Jewish guy and talk to the power gays and all these other people and cut a deal with them all.
Yeah, but sales and negotiation are so important in life.
Yes, of course.
And in politics. But, we, especially Democrats, but, you could argue the entire system is this way. They're relying solely on polemics.
Can we also talk about how funny it is that he got, who's the House Minority Leader? I'm blanking his name.
Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries, to say calling someone a Mexican's a racist slur.
And they put a sombrero on my head.
Whenever he tweets now, I just reply, go back to Mexico in all caps. It's so fun.
Why would you get mad about that? That's
it's
so
so
much more racist than anything.
And it's so dumb. Like, this is what's upsetting you?
Yes. But that's why, his reelection and the success allows for the trolling.
I think the Republican Party is, hear me out, I want to hear your opinion very much. I think they're going to be in very bad shape after him, because I think he's the glue.
No one, so it's like...
Do you agree?
Yes, it's like assuming that my daughter's room is going to look like it does 20 minutes after the housekeeper leaves for the next 2 weeks.
Thank you.
It's not going to happen.
Right, okay,
the second she gets in there, she's going to be ripping things out of the drawers and dumping over the laundry basket.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with the Republican Party. Like, they don't have the abstraction and the vision, and Trump has been thinking about this, not to get elected, but this is how the world needs to be.
Yeah.
I don't see... Bernie Sanders is like that. Like, AOC is like that. They're wrong. The conclusions are wrong. But, it's like the mechanism is basically the same. I don't see... I think J.D. Vance is a great hockey goon. I think that he is so good at playing offense. I love when Trump's talking. He's staring at people I'm going to kick your ass and take you out of here, and I'm going to punch you in the... That's what J.D. Vance is good at, but his brand of populism is not economically viable.
I don't think it's only that. I think he's very, very smart, and he knows he's smart.
Yes.
And Adlai Stevenson showed us that Americans don't like people who know that they're smart. Ted Cruz is another one of these people who's too smart for their own good. And I think
Same with Josh Hawley.
Yeah, Karen doesn't like that, and Karen's a swing vote. And I think he's terminally online, and he thinks Twitter's real life, and he's tap dancing with some very nefarious forces in the Republican Party, and the Democrats are going to throw that in his face, and then you're going to have this kind of infighting purity spiral thing.
How do you define yourself politically?
Anarchism.
Okay. Are you still an anarcho-capitalist?
I've never been an anarcho-capitalist. I've always been an anarchist.
Okay, what's the difference?
I think a lot of the early anarcho-communists had things right. So I like all the colors of the black flag.
Okay. And so for
and
people,
I don't think capitalism is a defensible term.
Okay, so for people who consider themselves to be anti-fascist, like Antifa members, they say that they're anarchists. Do you identify with them on some level?
On some level, yes.
Okay.
Because I do agree with them, broadly speaking. Everyone calm down. That if you have a government that is doing evil things, it is appropriate and very American to take up arms and use force and direct action to fight back against them. Now, their vision of what fascism is like Kellyanne Conway. So we very much diverge between our definition of what fascism is and what evil is. But the fact that they are not waiting for the government to take care of problems is something that I agree with them on.
Okay. I was in the South Bronx the other day talking with people about Mom Donnie's grocery store plan.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, they didn't like it.
Really?
No, they did not like it. By and large, there were a couple people who were like, yeah, I'll probably vote for him. Because they're like,
sure,
you're
why
not going to screw it up any more than anyone else.
Right.
Like, government has utterly failed most of the people who live there. But they were like, $60 million on government-run grocery stores. They're like, we have grocery stores. Look around.
Yeah, but there goes. They're everywhere.
They're like, we need people to help with the mentally ill. And the mentally ill, drug-addicted people who are, turning sidewalks into toilets. Like, those are the people who need help and support and resources and money.
But he wants more of that.
He won't do that efficiently. Though.
No, he wants more mentally ill people on the street.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
He wants more of that.
That is the natural conclusion
Yes.
of what he's selling.
Yes.
It's like you will absolutely have more of that. You will have fewer people who are violent taken off the streets, and you will have more people who have more access to drugs without any sort of rehabilitation. Like that is the last thing on the list for do-gooder progressives.
He's not a do-gooder progressive. He's a socialist. He's way past progressive. I think he's extremely dangerous. I think he has malevolent intentions. I think people like him, he's another Chesabudin. Chesabudin, people don't know, he was the DA in San Francisco, and he basically is like, okay, like if you're shoplifting and I put you in jail, I'm persecuting you for being poor because you had to have stolen that whatever because you're broke. So what option did you have? That's their logic.
Yes.
So therefore, it's only a really crime once it's like $500, and who ends up getting hurt?
$900.
Oh, it was $900?
Yeah, it's a misdemeanor until it's $900.
Okay, I guess I'm a moderate here. How foolish of me. So, but that's their mentality,
Yes.
and it's.
So there's no right or wrong. Like you cannot do wrong
No,
in
it
that
is-
system
yes, you can.
unless you are defending yourself.
Right, or
then
hurting,
you're in the wrong.
or hurting a poor person who does anything.
Yes.
So it's talk about rich people can get away with a lot in America, but poor people under these systems are the most privileged because there's literally nothing they can't do that you'll prosecute them for.
Yes.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And Bill De Blasio has nothing on this guy.
That's what I've been saying. I've been saying De Blasio will look like Rudy Giuliani
Yeah, that's
compared
correct.
to Zoran Mondani.
Yes.
Yes.
And I talked to my buddy Tom Beaulieu. He co-founded Quest, and he has a podcast now called Impact Theory, and he's very wealthy. And I go, am I correct that this is going to decimate the business community in New York? He goes, absolutely.
Why would you stay?
Why would you? It's already expensive.
Yes.
Now I have an excuse to tell my board, guys, if we move to, I don't care, Milwaukee, Austin, Florida, anywhere, we're going to save half the money in rent, and then I look like the big shot smart CEO. Look how much I saved.
And, our employees will get to pay them less. They can now afford housing on their own. Right. They have public safety. They can start business. They can send their kids to public school.
Right. Everyone wins.
They will throw us a parade.
Yeah.
And then we save on the corporate taxes. We're going to move to a state with no income tax. Yay, us.
So it's a poverty spiral.
But people like Elizabeth Warren's like, the rich are always threatening to leave, and they never do. It's like, look at Columbia. Look at Nordstrom, not Columbia University, Columbia Sportswear in Portland. Nordstrom leaving Seattle and Portland and San Francisco.
No, but look at how many people left New York and California and moved to Austin, Miami.
Yes.
And
you live in Austin.
Yes.
Tell me how many people from different states have relocated there.
Huge. I think some are moving back. Whatever. Good riddance to them. But the point is, when I come back to New York, it just gets like everything I like is just every time I come back here, another store that I liked is gone. And when I'm on the subway, I forgot how I accepted this as normal because there's this tension because you never know who's going to pop off.
Yes.
And you also don't know if someone pops off, no one's going to do anything because they go to jail if you do something.
So I used to.
So I started setting women on fire.
Well, you can do that now.
Yeah.
I used to when there was like an unhinged person screaming and ranting who smelled like piss on the subway, I would always sit next to a big guy.
Yeah, of
and
course.
it's like after Daniel Penny, it's like, that guy's not going to defend me. He's like, that guy's not going to get up and put someone in a chokehold.
This isn't what I meant by...
No, like, absolutely. Do you think I want to go through my life savings defending myself?
This isn't what I meant by alternative nation.
No, it's like, and it's going to get so much worse so quickly. And I look around at people.
You know what's going to hurt the most? The poor.
Yes.
They're always the first victims.
Yes. And it's like
and it's in their name.
You think that they're going to tax rich people and everything's magically going to go away.
They don't think that. I think he's clearly a sociopath, in my opinion. My friend is like, he knew he was going to win the primary because just looked at who's the most narcissistic sociopath. I didn't watch that debate. Was it a complete disaster?
I didn't watch it. I was at the Al Smith dinner.
Okay, so I don't know. I saw one poll, a Fox poll, that he broke 50%. So God help New York.
Yeah. It's like, but New Yorkers look around and like, you think I'm voting for Cuomo? After what he did?
It's funny. It's like, do you want the guy who's killed people in the past or who's going to kill them in the future? And then there's Curtis Sliwa. Poor Curtis Sliwa.
I know. He's like, this is the most support I've ever had in my life. I've got 17 cats and a little red hat.
Yeah, it's sad.
He's the Rodney Dangerfield of the race. No respect.
Are you going to vote?
I don't vote here. I vote in California.
Okay. Yeah. Would you vote? Who would you vote for?
Yeah, I always vote.
Okay.
Oh, God.
It'd be Sliwa, right?
I hate to say it because I've been saying that he needs to get out of the race, but I would vote for Sliwa.
Right.
Like, because I am a principled voter. You have to get my vote. I don't believe in this, well, you have to vote, so this guy doesn't win. You have to vote Republican. I will never, ever do that. And I do write in California, like Matt Welch, Kat Timpf,
Really?
you, my friend Brendan, like, you've all been nominated to be a judge.
Oh, okay. I think I do a good job. Execute everyone now.
Overcook the fish, jail. Undercook the fish, straight to jail. Also jail. All right, we'll go have a wonderful rest of this month.
You
and
call
next
yourself
month.
a libertarian, you're trying to tell me what to do?
Get the out of here. You truly are one of my very favorite people ever. I adore you immensely and immeasurably.
Thank you so much. Great to be here finally.
You're welcome.
That's my line.
This has been Kennedy Saves the World, along with Michael Malice. I'm Kennedy.
Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app. Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.